Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Well, really the dining table because my kitchen is tiny. But today we are baking banana bread. I was feeling very basic and I had some bananas that needed to get used. So basic plus bananas equals banana bread. So that is what we're going to do today. And we're also going to have a chat about moving abroad, the challenges of it, and as well what it is really like being an Australian in New Zealand. Let me tell you folks, it is interesting. So we're gonna get serious about this. I need to put my hair up. I have tried to prepare some of the ingredients, but honestly, this video is not really planned. So I hope you're ready to come along for the ride as we bake some banana bread. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe and thumbs up this video, and let's go. I am using a rough recipe off Butternut Bakery blog, but let's be honest, like banana bread's one of those things that you can kind of just chuck it all in there and hopefully it'll turn out okay. But I live in a student flat and I realized that we didn't actually have a proper tin. I thought we did, but we didn't. So I'm actually using a cake tin. So I don't really know if it's banana bread. It's more gonna look like banana cake, but that's all right. So I've got all of my ingredients here. And the first step I'm going to do is mash up the bananas. This whole space feels very messy right now. I promise you, it's gonna get better. Let me get a fork. So as most of you know, well, if you've been following my channel, if you're new, welcome. Thanks for coming along. I moved to New Zealand 6 months ago. I have lived in New Zealand before, but I came back to study here. There's videos on my channel explaining all of that. So it has been 6 months since I kind of got out of quarantine and moved to Wellington and started uni, and like so many big life changes all at once, really. And I think only now the extremity of it is starting to hit me, especially because COVID is flaring up again in Australia and my family aren't able to come over and visit as planned. So it's kind of just got me thinking about some of the stuff that sucks about moving abroad, because I think a lot of it is really fantasized and it looks really romantic online when you see all these people moving abroad. But let me tell you what, moving countries and living away from loved ones is very different to just traveling short term. And I think I've really been feeling that lately. And I can see why people choose to just stay in the hometowns. Like, I don't know about you, but I used to kind of like judge people who would just stay in their hometowns for their entire lives. But now I kind of see some value in that, you know, like you're really staying close to the ones that you love. And obviously I value my family. I love them with all of my heart, but we've made our decisions in life, you know, and I decided to come here. But I think lately it's just gotten a lot harder. Like my immediate family, we haven't been all together now in almost 5 years. So it's been really tough. And I would just say, you know, if you're super tight knit with your family and you're wanting to move abroad, just like really put a lot of thought and prayer into it, because it is going to be a sacrifice. So that's one thing that I've been thinking about, and I'm blessed to have some family here in New Zealand. I don't take that for granted, but it still doesn't make it any easier, you know? All right, so I've mashed up my bananas and I need to whisk together. Oh, do I need another bowl? Okay, I'll get another bowl. We're gonna use a pot because that's all that I've got. So I'm going to whisk together the sugar, maple syrup, oil, eggs, vanilla, and coconut cream. I'm just gonna use almond milk instead. So let me do that and I will be right back with you. This is exciting. I've never like baked on camera. Not that I rarely bake. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually making this recipe gluten-free and dairy-free as well, because my friend Brie is coming over and she's gluten-free and dairy-free. So I wanted to be accommodating and try something new, not like, you know, normal old banana bread. Once smooth, mix in the banana. All right, let's do that. I think another very obvious challenge moving abroad is making friends. And I feel like, honestly, it is awesome following Jesus and going to church, because you kind of have this like ready-made community that you can start connecting with, and it Doesn't mean it's easy, but it certainly makes it a lot easier because you already know that you have things in common with these people that you're meeting, which I have loved, and I'm just so thankful for the church community that I have here in Wellington. Shout out if any of you are watching this who I go to church with. I'll see you tonight. I just am thinking about all the families and couples who have been separated during the pandemic and how difficult that must be, and how you have all these people who just don't understand and make insensitive comments like, well, it was your decision to move away. Yes, that's true, but like, have a little grace, guys. Like, I think more than ever we need to have grace for each other and be sensitive about what people are going through, because everyone has a challenge that they're fighting. And I think when you realize that, you start to have more empathy for people, because no one's life is perfect, no matter what it looks like from the outside. Even if you've done a glamorous move to another country, like, it's still hard. Fold in the dry ingredients. I have gluten-free flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, cinnamon. All right, let's do that. Oops, that was way too much. There are two types of bakers in the world. One who like strictly follow the recipe, and then people like me who are like, that'll be fine. Although I definitely am a clean as I go type of person, because I do not like working in a super messy space. Honestly, that first shot where all the ingredients there was kind of giving me anxiety, but that's all right. Okay, I've got a teaspoon of baking soda to put in. I don't know why I'm doing this in the saucepan. I literally had a bowl to do this in. Oh, God. Baking soda. Because I moved to New Zealand and not somewhere super crazy and different in culture, it was much easier to adjust to this place. But people who do move abroad to totally different places, that's just a whole nother ball game. But there are still some major differences between New Zealand and Australia. Definitely when it comes to the difference in how the government incorporates the Indigenous culture, how New Zealand honours and brings in the Māori into policy and what they do in daily life in comparison to how Australia does it with the Indigenous Australians is completely different. And all I have to say is, Australia, do better. Like, New Zealand isn't perfect, and I've been learning about that at uni and in my politics classes, but gosh, Australia has a long way to go. The stereotype is true where like New Zealanders really give Australia a hard time. But one thing that has shocked me the most moving over here is how often people talk about my accent. Like, almost every single day someone brings up my accent. Everybody is just so fascinated by it, and I was not expecting that, because I'm like, guys, Australia is next door. We're not that far away. I'm sure you've heard our accent before. I know people that have good intentions and they're probably just trying to make conversation, but it's really struck me. And some people do get a little bit like judgmental or, you know, tease me a little bit when they find out I'm Australian. But then when I tell them that I'm from Tasmania, it's a completely different story. They love it. They think Tasmania is this like crazy exotic place, which it kind of is in a way. And I'm very proud to have been born and raised there. So I'll talk about it all day long, really. But it's just really funny how the minute I say I'm not from Melbourne and Sydney, oh, okay, we like you then. Now, I have also decided to add in some chocolate to the banana bread, because I love chocolate. And it doesn't always need it, but now that it's gonna be a banana cake, maybe it does. Shout out to my cousin Meg, who gave me this idea to bake on my channel, and I like this. I feel like we're just having a good old conversation, you know? Here's a update of what it's looking like. I think that overall New Zealanders are very community focused, and it's a smaller country, whereas Australia is so much bigger. It has a bigger economy. I'm not gonna lie, I do miss getting paid more in Australia, and the cost of living here in New Zealand is, I think, overall higher, but it is interesting really feeling like a blend of the two cultures as someone who grew up in Australia but has Kiwi parents and lives here now. I think it's privilege, honestly. They're two great countries. We have our faults, but I'm here for it. All right, chocolate is, oh, these are really big. I bought buttons, not chocolate chips. They're good though. I think another hard part of moving abroad is obviously just like the bureaucracy, the forms, the passports, the visas, but you eventually figure all that stuff out. Like, it sucks. I had so much to do when I arrived here, but once you're kind of in the groove, it's not all that bad. And if you are thinking of making a move abroad and you know the sacrifices that come with that and you still have the desire to do it, do it. Like, worst comes to worst, you can get a flight home. And if you want to have that experience, it is such an awesome thing to do. But yeah, it has been an interesting journey, but I'm glad I've done it. I just tried the mixture and it is so good. All right, I'm gonna pour this baby in. Oh, this is an arm workout. Thumbs up this video if your favorite childhood memory was licking the cake batter. The level of cinnamon in this recipe, I'm really liking it. Does anyone remember the cinnamon challenge? Do you remember when you like used to spoon cinnamon into your mouth and then you'd like cough it all up and like almost die? I can't believe that wasn't banned. Like, the 2012 internet was just a different place. I really hope this rises. Time will tell. This bad boy is ready to go into the oven. All right, Bree's here for banana bread. Yay! Oh, the chocolate looks so good. This is the final product, everybody.
Yum!
And you're gonna be the judge of how good it is.
Okay.
This is yours.
Thank you so much.
I will be going for seconds, so. This is such a big cake. I set out making banana bread, but this is what we got.
Cake is what it's become.
I'm not mad about it.
That's good.
That's really good.
Really good.
I can't believe
It's
this is
fluffy.
gluten-free and dairy-free as well. It's crazy.
It's done very well.
Yum! Success.